Netflix's Territory tells the tale of the Lawson family's insular battle as a new heir is sought to take over their Australian cattle station, and the politics of the entire scenario lead to some huge moments, the biggest of which is given away in the premiere's opening moments. Certain members of the Territory cast don't make it to the end of the show's inaugural run, and some are barely in it at all. However, everyone has a very important part to play, and each character's exit creates a huge impact not just on Marianne Station, but its competitors too. Territory Season 1's ending makes it clear that Netflix's Australian neo-western show has plans to continue the story. Not every character death in Territory Season 1 is confirmed by the time the finale ends, leaving some compelling questions about the show's potential future. The biggest developments are spaced out well throughout the 6 episodes, highlighting how pivotal they could end up being in the larger narrative. While most come out of nowhere, one of Territory's main characters foreshadows a vital character's death before the first episode has barely started. Territory Season 1's opening scene is a flash-forward to after Susie's death. Emily Lawson's voiceover teases Susie's grisly end. Upon first watch, Emily Lawson's monologue at the start of Territory Season 1 seems to just be a general summary of what it's like to live on Marianne Station. Sure, she looks vaguely emotional too, but without any context, it's easy to quickly forget her misty-eyed demeanor, that could, in theory, be caused by absolutely anything. After Susie's brutal and untimely death in Episode 6, it becomes much more obvious that Territory's opening scene is showing Emily reflecting on the loss of her daughter. Susie's demise at the horns of one of the Lawson family bulls is difficult to predict until right before it happens. The show strongly implies that, before her death, Susie was one of the frontrunners to inherit Marianne Station from her grandfather. As such, it seems unlikely that Territory would choose to kill her off. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens in Season 1's penultimate episode. So, when Emily's opening monologue is analyzed after Susie dies, the pause before the animals comes across as much more prominent and far more poignant. The next scene also foreshadows Susie's cause of death. The bull training scene is just as vital to predicting how Susie dies. A bull looking at 2 cattle trainers in Territory. The scene that immediately follows Emily's mourning moment returns the show to the present day. Territory continues to pile on the clues here about how Susie will eventually die. Marianne Station's new recruits are thrust into the bullpen, and Emily scolds them for their body language and has to intervene to stop them from getting injured. The general message of the warning is that if they show their fear, the bull will come back and hurt others later, thinking he's the boss. Susie isn't present in this scene, but it's tough to ignore Emily's accurate prediction and not connect it to how Susie dies in Episode 5. Territory doesn't go full circle here, though. The 2 bulls are completely different colors, so it's obvious the animal from the start of Episode 1 isn't the one that fatally charges Susie. However, the fact that it was one of the bulls Susie bought with her own money to save Marianne Station makes the scene even more upsetting. Emily Lawson's voiceover in Territory's first scene may give away something else about the show's future. Territory Season 2 could be the show's final outing, if it's renewed. Even though Territory Season 1 ends on a cliffhanger, Territory Season 2 hasn't yet been announced. If it is, then one more batch of episodes may very well be all the Netflix show needs to wrap up its story. Emily's very first line in the Season 1 opener, which by extension becomes the show's first line overall, is, "People say the Territory only has 2 seasons. Although Emily goes on to say those 2 seasons are drought and flood, she could quietly be giving a self-aware confirmation of how long the neo-western will run for. It almost seems like there's too much going on for Territory Season 2 to wrap everything up in a satisfying manner. Then again, it is technically possible. The writers may have had a 2-season arc planned from the very beginning, which could explain Emily's line in the opening episode. The storylines set up for Territory Season 2 are sure to be just as fraught and bloody as the opening run of episodes, and the next batch could include an explosive conclusion if there's no plan to make Territory Season 3 or beyond.